Hello and welcome to Charger Games. My name is Raja and this is a new series on Unity scripting tutorial. So in this series we will learn how to write scripts for Unity from complete ground up. If you don't have any kind of previous programming experience, you are most welcome. And if you have previous programming experience and you want to brush up your skills in Unity, you are most welcome too. So in this series, we will start from complete ground up and we will build on that knowledge to know more about Unity scripting. So first of all, let me explain why do we need scripting and what is scripting. Okay. So if you have done any kind of programming course before, or if you have heard about computer programming, you know that computer programming basically means giving instructions to the computer to do something. Now, in case of Unity, the same principle applies. So as an example, if we have a game, we want each and every object of that game to be interactive. We want to control each and every object, and we also want those objects to have their own properties so that they can do something. As an example, suppose I have a player and I want that player to move whenever I press the left and right arrow keys. So I can write a script and attach that script to the player, and inside the script I can write some instructions which will instruct the player to move left whenever I press the left arrow key and move right whenever I press the right arrow key. And I can write more instructions like it will shoot a bullet whenever I press the mouse left button. So as you can see, this is how we are actually giving some instructions to different game objects to do some tasks. So this is what script does. By using scripting, we'll give instructions to various game objects and we will make them operate as we want. We will make them operate according to our wish. So we will make them instantiate whenever we want. We will destroy them whenever we want. We will move them, rotate them, and whatever we want. Do whatever we want. So this can be achieved by using scripting. So scripting is very useful for game development. So if you want to be a game developer, you have to be very confident and very professional, or not very expert, but you have to have good knowledge about scripting. Okay, so now in the context of Unity, Unity supports 3 different programming languages for scripting: C#, JavaScript, and Boo. Now, Boo is not actually used a lot, so here are mainly 2 programming languages, C# and JavaScript. Now, in this series of videos, we will use C#, and there are a couple of reasons behind that. So, C# is a language created by Microsoft for its .NET platform. C# is a complete object-oriented programming language, so using it, we can get a very organized way to write our scripts. Okay, if we use JavaScript, we don't have any class. We don't have to specifically write our objects inside a class. So, and moreover, whenever we declare the type of a variable, in case of JavaScript, we don't have to write any type. So later on, when you are reading your own scripts, or when you are reading someone else's script, it will be a lot of problem because you will get into a lot of confusions. But if you're using C#, it has a more organized way to write code. You write all of your code inside a class. Inside that class, you place some functions and variables, and before writing the variable names, you have to declare the types of those variables. So this is a very organized way to write code. So if you're starting scripting, if you're starting to learn Unity, and if you're starting to learn scripting, I would recommend you to start with C#, because it has more organized way, as I've said before. And if you apply for a job in any kind of game development with Unity, you will see that most of the gaming studios who uses Unity uses C# as their programming language. And if you have watched some of the Unity's official video tutorials, you will know that they also use C# as the language for their tutorials, because they know that using C# is a better option than JavaScript. Okay, so that's why they use C#, and that's why you should also use C#. Okay, so that little introduction to programming, scripting, and C#. Let us try to create our very first script. So in Unity, there are a couple of options to create a script. So as you can see, here we have a project panel. So inside this project panel, we have a create option. If we click on this create option, here we have a couple of options. So from here, you can see we have two options. One, we have a C# script and we have a JavaScript. So from here, if we click on the C# script, it will create a new C# script for us. By default, Unity names it new behavior script. So if we want to change the name, we just write our own name. I will write here test script. Okay, so this is one way to create a script. Another way to create a script is we can right click inside whenever we are inside this assets folder, we can right click and create, and from here we can also create a new C# script or new JavaScript. Another way to do that is whenever we have any object in our game, suppose I create an empty object here. So if I click this object here, whenever the object is selected from the inspector, I have an option to add components to that object. So if I click add component at the position here and down below, you can see that we have two options. We can either click on scripts or we can click on new scripts. If we click on scripts, then it will allow us to add existing scripts that we have created before to this game object. And we can also create a new script and attach it to this game object at the same time. So we can, let's name it new script. And whenever you are creating this new script, you can see that here we have two options. Here we have language and here we have C# selected. If we click here, you can see we have now two options, C# and JavaScript. Since we are using C#, we will click on C#. Now if we click on create and add, you can see that this script has been created. So this is how you create your very first script. And if you want to edit this, Unity has its inbuilt editor called Mono Behavior. Yes, and if you want to open the script in Mono Behavior, just double click on this script here or double click here. If I double click here, as you can see that, I'm sorry, the name is Mono Develop. By some mistake I name it Mono Behavior. Actually it's Mono Develop. Okay, so when you double click it, the script will open in Mono Develop. As you can see, Mono Develop is loading and it will get loaded. It will take some time, very first time you are opening Mono Develop. Okay. Okay, as you can see, our new script has been loaded. So whenever you create a new script, this is what you can see. So we will learn what these things mean in the next episode. In this video, we have learned about the basic scripting of what is scripting, and we have also learned how to create and add new scripts to our game. And we have also learned how to open it in Mono Develop. In the next video, we'll learn what these things mean, and we'll learn the very basics of scripting. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and learned something. I know you will learn a lot more if you continue watching these videos. So thank you very much and have a great day. Let's keep watching. Thanks.